Hello, everybody. There's the man of the hour.
I was on water boy service.
Yep, water duty.
That's high quality H2O.
Oh my gosh.
And it really is too, though. Straight from the Kangen machine.
Well, how is everyone doing today? Happy Saturday.
Yeah.
We have a good little list today.
Yeah.
So
I was surprised. It's a bigger list of pre-orders than we normally get.
yeah, so thank you guys for that.
And I realized that I forgot to even announce it yesterday. Usually I give a little reminder on Friday that, tomorrow we're doing a live readings, and I realized, oops, I forgot to even mention it.
Oops. Speaking of oops, I forgot to turn off the super chats.
Oh, well.
Let me go do that real quick before more people get in here. Oh, we already got one.
A super chat?
Yeah. Wow. Thank you, Keely.
Oh, yeah, Keely, thank you.
Wow.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
No, it's not too late to sign up.
We're always so...
we always think we have it all together, and then we don't.
Yeah.
It's like we're always missing
It
something.
drives me nuts because I'm normally one of the biggest things I've been working on, a big character defect of mine for years now, is I'm so nervous and anxious about being on time. And I've been trying to loosen up on that for a couple of years now.
Well, I think it's important to be punctual. Like, I don't...
Yeah, but I don't want it to throw me into a panic attack.
Yeah, that's where it just kind of like, you want to be careful with that because, like, nobody really cares that much if you're a couple minutes late.
Yeah.
But you should, when it's like other things, you should definitely take into consideration, like appointments. We're always on time.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting the list here.
Did you pin this?
No, don't click. You're going to mess up my thingy. I'm almost done. All right, here's the list. There's the lineup. If you want to join us, the link is in the comments. A specific question is required. Please include if it's a current person, past person, love interest. It can be career. It could be just really anything. We've gotten all kinds of just random questions before. It doesn't have to be just love. I think a lot of you guys wonder about that. So
yeah,
it could be about anything. And other than like psychic stuff, like who, what, when, where, the where. Specifically, where is this? Or where is this person? Or where am I going to find my next relationship? Or things like that.
Psychic stuff, which, I mean, at the end of the day, I think a lot of people kind of misunderstand how that works retroactively anyways. I'm not saying that can't be done. It does happen, but 99% of the time when that happens, when somebody visits a psychic and, that psychic opens up and tells them all kinds of crazy details, there's a bigger, deeper meaning behind that. And it usually has something to do with that person being on the wrong path. And that's the way spirit gets their attention. They send them a psychic just to kind of get them on the right track. That's what happened to me. I would not be where I am today if I didn't cross paths with a psychic medium. And that's a long story, but yeah. So
that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. First person we have on our list is Paige. Question is, how do I find my higher calling?
Oh, well, that's kind of what we were talking about. How do I read that with tarot?
Well, you could do like an energy check, like explain how to find your higher calling with what you teach, and then energy check.
First, let me look at your path. That's what I want to look at first. But let me ask you this. What makes you think you haven't found your calling? That's one thing I always like to invite people to think about when they ask that question. Pentacles reversed. Two of Pentacles reversed. Moon card. Okay. All right. So your path looks pretty good. Looks pretty solid. Now, you are right in the middle right now of a pretty big, lengthy, slow transformation. I don't know if you realize that or not, but when it comes to your highest calling, well, and also it depends on what you mean by that. It depends on how you define higher calling, but when it comes to you doing the things that you came here to do, look what time it is.
I know.
When it comes to you doing the things that you came here to do, most of the time the universe is going to bump your ass on the path you need to be on. Your life is going to line itself up in a way where you're bumped onto the path you need to be on. And a lot of times we ignore it, and we'll stray off in the wrong direction. So the universe will start screaming louder and louder, and it'll start shoving you harder and harder. And, most people usually get the message. And it's not something that you have to figure out. If you have a really, 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 really important assignment, the universe is going to make sure that you end up figuring out what that assignment is. It's not really something you have to figure out. It's not really something that you find, if that makes any sense. What should I look at for the second spread? I guess let's just expand on that. If there's anything else that needs to come through about your path, because right now it looks like you're in a pretty good spot. You're just going through, world card. You're entering a new cycle right now. Six of Pentacles. Okay, now pretty much the same thing. You're entering into a new cycle right now. The world card in the second spread, moon card. But you don't really necessarily find it. I don't want to tell you not to try. I don't want to tell you that. Absolutely get out there and take as much action as you can towards what calls you. Now, I love the way Case, with the YouTube channel Everyday Masters, he describes it like breadcrumbs on a trail. Whenever something lights your soul on fire, go towards that. That's either one of two things. That's either your highest calling or a breadcrumb on the trail that's leading you closer to it. So to answer the question as directly as possible, I would say focus on that. Focus on anything that lights your soul on fire. I don't care how stupid it sounds. I don't care how weird and ridiculous it sounds. I don't care what anybody thinks about it. If you have a burning desire to make fucking candles, make fucking candles. Like, I don't care what it is. And just keep doing that. Whenever something lights your soul on fire, go towards that. And eventually, like I said, that'll lead you towards either a breadcrumb or your highest calling. But when it all comes down to it, the universe will make sure you find it one way or the other. All right.
Okay, next is for the letter T. It says, will my love life get any better? I was in a very toxic relationship past 4 years and currently healing.
Let me see. First, let me look at that soul contract. Soul contract with the past person. Queen of Wands reversed. Eight of Cups reversed. Six of Cups reversed. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't really think that all of the karma was cleared with that. And there's still a pretty heavy karmic tie, and there was a lot of codependency energy in that. Okay. All right. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Let me see what's due to come in next. Before I can answer your question, I want to look at the past and look ahead real quick. There's the codependency card again. Okay. Well, we got to get out of that energy. We got to get out of the loneliness energy, or it will not improve. Sun card reversed. Ooh, 5 of Wands. Okay. So here is your actual person. Now, in order to attract your actual person, it's going to require an extremely extensive healing process. Extremely. And as long as you're able to stay on that path, it's going to turn you into an unrecognizable version of yourself. By the time you heal from this and you release all this energy and you start applying all of the wisdom you learned from this to your life, that's a long, drawn-out process that takes time. It's going to turn you into a version of yourself that people aren't even going to recognize. And then, yes, by that point, you'll be a vibrational match to attract your actual person. But like I said, you won't recognize yourself at that point. But it's really hard to say right now if it's going to happen. As long as you stay on the healing path, it will. And as long as you focus on vibration, because vibration is the primary law, finding the vibration of abundance from within, because, most people are entering into relationships on a vibration of lack, So yeah, it very much absolutely has the potential to get a lot better, a whole lot better. But give yourself time and patience. I don't know how long ago your last relationship ended, but you're looking at give yourself no less than 1 year before true healing even really starts. So yeah, I got faith that it's going to improve. Just stay on that healing path. Make healing and your vibration your number one priority, and you could easily attract your actual person anytime between now and 2030.
Okay, next is Cindy Luna. Will I have a reconciliation with my ex? Today, John broke up with me over a text message. We only dated for 1.5 months, but I love him intensely. So they didn't break up today. It was maybe a couple days ago.
Well, let me look at the soul contract. Ooh, that was quick. Karmic wheel in the upright. So that's a completed contract. That means that the two of you had karma from a previous lifetime. Now, I don't know what that karma was. All it means is unfinished business from a past life. And you cleared it. Whatever the karma was, whatever the unfinished business was, whatever unturned stones there were, whatever loose ends needed to be tied up from a previous lifetime, you cleared it and completed it successfully. So that's going to make reconciliation much, much more difficult. Let me give this person an energy check. Let me see. Eight of Cups reverse. Oh, wow. Karmic wheel again. Okay. So now, as a reminder, I'm not allowed to spy on the details of somebody else's life. And I know you didn't ask me to, but I just want to preface this by saying that. His number one goal is trying to find somebody new right now. I don't know if he left you for someone, or if he left you thinking that it was going to be easy to find someone. I don't know, but his number one goal is to try to get with somebody else right now. If that happens to fall through, there is a stronger likelihood that you could hear from him again. But right now, at least in the current moment, it doesn't really look like that he's planning on that, but I do see the Eight of Cups reversed here. So that could be a possibility. But I would just say be very careful with that. Be very careful. Be very careful. Because if he did it once, he'll probably do it again. And if the two of you were to come back together, you'll feel a very, very strong energetic change. You'll probably have a hard time getting to sleep at night, worried about when he's going to do it again. So it's a completed contract. He's not planning on it right now, but depending on how successful his love life is in the next 6 months, there's a likelihood you could hear from him again. And I'm not going to say do it or don't do it. I'm not going to say that because, you know, you're better off repeating a past cycle, you know, if you need to still learn something from that situation. But just approach that situation with caution if that happens.
Okay, next is for Taya, or I think that's how you say it. A specific person, he's an Aquarius situationship, but are in no contact due to me. We're both nonchalant. I want to know how he actually is feeling. Thank you so much. I love your readings.
Ooh, Ten of Pentacles. And he's kind of a surface level individual, like materialistic type. I don't know if he's well off financially or not, but he likes to keep things on the surface. I think has a lot of unhealed heartbreak, right, from the past, and has a big wall up around his heart and isn't really trying to let anybody get too close to his heart. With the Two of Swords, I don't really think he knows exactly how he feels. I don't think so, because he's not letting you or anyone else get close to his heart so that this doesn't happen to him again. With the Death card here, though, I think he's kind of leaning towards the idea that maybe this is just over. I think he does miss what y'all used to have, you know, but for some reason, he's kind of feeling like he has no choice but to move on from this. So I think he's kind of just taking it as, oh, well, it is what it is type of thing. Like I said, he has a lot of unhealed heartbreak, does miss what you all used to have, but I don't know any other way to word that. Let me see what the second spread says here. Drop the card. Strength reversed. Yeah. Okay.
He's going in the man cave.
High Priestess. Two of Swords again. Yeah. Okay. So he's a very confused individual. Very confused. And it has mainly to do with a lot of unhealed past heartbreak. So whatever happened to him in the past, and again, this is very normal, but he never healed from it because he didn't know how. Most people don't heal because they don't know how. So he did what most men do, especially Aquarius men, and just threw a wall up around his heart. And all he really knows is he does miss what the two of you had. But it's kind of like, oh, well, it is what it is. Here's just another one, you know, and he's kind of just trying to, I think, like block it out and forget about it. Kind of trying to run from it, basically. I don't know any other way to explain that. Nine of Pentacles, he's very lonely, but he's afraid to be with anyone, if that makes sense. He's afraid for anyone to get close to his heart. Because I think he knows that if he gave himself permission, he would fall stupid in love with you, and that would give you the power to destroy his world. So he's kind of trying to just push his feelings away as much as he can, but deep down he does miss you. So that's about all I can get out of that. Very stubborn individual.
Okay, next is for Adriana. Will I get a better job offer soon? Looking for a new job.
So I got to look at your path. World card reversed. Well, your cycle isn't quite complete yet. Not quite. So when I say cycle, I mean whatever spiritual reason why you are where you are. Like maybe you have a soul contract with some people that you work with. Maybe you're still obtaining some wisdom that you're going to need to use later on down the line for something. But whatever that cycle is, it's not quite complete yet. Let me see. Knight of Pentacles reversed. Well, it depends on what you mean by soon. Eight of Pentacles reversed. Depends on what you mean by soon. It's not, your cycle's not quite complete yet. I don't ever want to tell you no, because it's not my place to tell you what is and is not going to happen to you. Because I'm all about manifesting what you want. I'm all about it. I'm not all about saying, oh, well, the future just randomly happens to me and I have no control of it. But I would, if I was you, I would start playing with some manifestation techniques if I was you. If you, I can tell you that your cycle's not quite complete yet. Not quite. That's why you're having a hard time finding a new job. But I'm not going to tell you to just roll over and give up. If you really want it, I would recommend playing with some manifestation techniques. I think it's fun. I know that whenever there's something I'm trying to accomplish and I'm having a hard time with it, you know what I do? I take to YouTube. I'll look up different manifestation techniques and I'll try anything. I don't care what it is. You know, as long as there's no like black magic involved or anything like that, I'll try anything. And I've tried them all, dude. I mean, you know, from, you know, saying affirmations to Hindu gods while counting the prayer beads, to writing stuff on paper and burning it, to, you know, using the full moon. Dude, I've done it all. Let me see what the second spread says here. That's probably what I would do if I was you. If you really want to go ahead and exit your path early. Hang on, let me see what the second spread says. Five of Wands. Seven of Swords, Three of Cups, Ten of Swords, okay. Six of Swords reversed, yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's what I think I would do, but I will warn you, though. If you leave your path early, before it's quote-unquote time, any unfinished business will carry over to the next path and pile on top of everything else that you're going to have going on that path. And it can make it a little bit more challenging. But I mean, with the Ten of Pentacles here, hey, if you really want that money, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. But yeah, right now, your cycle's not quite complete yet. So I would recommend, if I was you and you really, really, really want to go ahead and leave your path early, just work on manifesting it. Play with some manifestation techniques. Just take to YouTube, and I would recommend trying them all, or trying whatever ones sound cool. You know, try one each day. That's what I would do. So, all right.
All right, next is for Lynn. It says, will Jay ever return to me? This is my ex whose energy I can't shake or get over, even though I'm trying to move on and get back out there. We are both Geminis.
Lynn, are you in the chat? It's not, I don't need to know, but I'd kind of like to know how long you've been separated. Just curious. Let me know if you see her in the chat.
Okay.
Or is that's probably a pre-order, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they're still in here somewhere.
And let me know if you're in the chat. I'm just curious as to how long the two of you have been separated. What deck am I going to use? First thing I want to look at is the soul contract. Let's see if it's complete.
I don't see anything.
Queen of Cups. 2 more shuffles. 2 more. Okay. Well, okay. This is very layered. So it was karmic, but it was also a life partnership. So it's what I like to call a karmic life partnership. Remember, karma just means unfinished business from a past life. The question is, what was the unfinished business? In this case, it was a life partnership. You all had a life partnership soul contract in a previous lifetime that got screwed up somehow. So you agreed to come back and try it again and build a life partnership in this lifetime. And it looks like it's not working out in this lifetime either. So that's what makes it difficult to read what's going to happen when it's not happening according to plan. You all already overshot the target, if that makes sense. I'll give him an energy check. I am really curious to know how long you all have been separated, but it won't change the answer. I'll just be able to dig in and explain things with more depth and clarity. But let me give this person an energy check, I guess. Fool reverse. I think he's a little bit too afraid to try to approach you, honestly. Moon reversed. Judgment, Ace of Swords. Well, Ace of Cups. I mean, I do think that he does have feelings for you. I think he's a little bit too afraid to approach you. I don't know if he's afraid that you're mad at him or he has his guard up for some reason. Did he leave you? If he left you, I think he's afraid that you're mad at him. If you left him, he's not going to come chasing after somebody that left him. I'm not sure who left who, so I don't want to try to dig that up too deep. But for whatever reason, he's afraid to approach you. I guess that could change. That what you do have working for you is that it's an incomplete contract. So you have that working for you. That means that there's still room on the table for the two of you to try to work on this. But right now, he's too afraid to approach you for some reason. And without knowing other details like who left and how long ago that was, I can't really say a whole lot more. So that's about all I got for that one.
Okay, next is for Anita. It says, I'm suffering from trauma, PTSD, and receiving treatment. Will I get better and find mental stability throughout the latter half of this year? Is that later or ladder?
Ladder.
It is ladder?
Yeah.
Oh. You guys, I'm so bad at words. I don't know why. I just never really
That's okay.
had a big vocabulary.
Anita, are you in the chat? I'm curious as to how long you've been receiving treatment. And what kind of treatment? I gotta be real careful how I say this, but
I would assume like counseling or something. I mean, I don't know what else treatment there is for that.
well, I mean, there are holistic
Oh,
things you can do, like life coaches and stuff like that, but
that's still like some type of like a psychological like help,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. What I'm saying is, and I gotta say this real carefully, is that you have to be careful with things that are an extension of the matrix. You gotta be careful with that stuff. Is she in the chat? Do you see her?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Two of Cups reversed. Tower reversed. She already told me that. Okay, and the Hermit Devil card. Well, I mean, there's a lot to work through here. There's a whole lot to work through. A whole lot. This first spread isn't showing improvement. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't mean that you can't. Whether or not you get better isn't a question of possibility. It's a question of the energetic pathway. And I don't know how long you've been receiving treatment. Right now, it's just showing me nothing but the energetic clusterfuck that you're working through right now is all it's showing me. Let's see what the second spread says. It's possible. It is 100% possible to get better. You have the ability to rewrite the neural circuitry of your own brain with thought alone. Just to let everybody know, that's the way affirmations are really supposed to be used. When you say an affirmation, you're not saying it to some being that exists outside of you. You're saying it to reprogram your own brain. Think about it like this. Every time you say an affirmation one time, that's like doing one curl with a weight at the gym. If you only do a curl once and then you forget, you do it again a couple days later, and then you forget for a couple of weeks, and then you do it again a couple of times, are you going to see any changes in your arm? No. But if you do it every day on a schedule and you develop a routine of doing curls, you're eventually going to see changes in your physique. Similarly, affirmations. If you repeat that affirmation so frequently that it becomes a habit, such a habit that you start saying that affirmation without thinking about it, that is going to rewrite the neural circuitry of your brain. And they've proven this scientifically. This isn't Rich Lopp's little theory. This has been proven scientifically. Nine of Pentacles, World card reversed. Yeah. Well, there's an awful lot to work through here. And the Sun is reversed. So I don't know how long you've been receiving treatment, but you got a long road ahead of you. You got a long road ahead of you. Quite a long road. Now, you absolutely 100% can get better. 100%. But it is going to be a long road ahead of you. I would recommend not being afraid to think outside the box in terms of treatment and healing. I'm not going to tell you what to do or what not to do because I'm not qualified to give that kind of advice. But I will say, don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to look in places that a lot of people may not think to look. And and you absolutely can get better, 100%. There's a long road ahead of you.
Oops. Okay, next is for Melinda. What is going on with the Pisces that was so focused on me for 3 weeks, then used an excuse to ghost me? He did come back 3 days later with a "How are you?" text.
It's usually somebody playing games with you. Are you in the chat, Melinda?
Yes. She's in the chat.
Okay, so were you all actually in a relationship? Or was it just y'all just kind of like talking or whatever? 2 more shuffles.
Just started talking.
Well, I don't need a tarot card to tell you that person's playing games with you. I'm just trying to figure out how deep it goes. Lovers reversed. Yeah. Okay. No, there's a lot going on with this person. There's past energy. There's really, really heavy past energy in here.
It's always an X.
Yeah, really heavy. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that he ran back to an X, but he could have possibly. But there's very, very, very heavy past energy. I feel like all he's really trying to do is figure out how to fill some kind of void. Because he's still energetically tied to somebody from the past. Now, how long ago was that? I don't know. I don't know if it was last month or last year, but he's trying to fill a void. He's trying to fill a void. And when somebody is just trying to fill a void, they're not actually connecting. When you enter into a relationship with someone just to try to fill an empty, broken void in your heart, you're not forming a real connection with that person. Like, it's just not happening, About all you can really do is form a sex-based connection with them, and possibly a codependency connection, but there's not a real genuine connection happening at a deep level. And I think really that's all he's doing. He's trying to fill a void. And it wouldn't surprise me if he was still talking to an ex. Not allowed to spy on the close details of somebody's life, but there's past person energy really, really heavy in here. Really heavy. So if I had to take an intuitive shot in the dark, I would guess that he's probably still trying to get back with an ex. I could be wrong, though, but usually that's the case. Let me see what the second spread said. Yeah, see? 7 of Cups, keeping his options open, playing around, playing the field, just trying to fill a void. And he's probably going to jump on the quickest, fastest, easiest sex-based connection he can find. I don't know if the two of you were sexually intimate or not, but that, I think, is the main thing on his mind, is just trying to fill a void to make him feel better about himself. That he's carrying so much past vibrational baggage. And again, not allowed to spy on the details of his life, sorry. But it wouldn't surprise me if you were not the only person he was talking to. So focused on you, he was probably focused on some other people too. Could be wrong on that. I don't know what he's doing with his spare time, but if he could, he would absolutely have an inbox full of people. So he's just a very, very lost, broken, confused individual that doesn't know how to heal and is just playing around and trying to fill a void. That's pretty much what's going on with him. Kind of typical, honestly.
Crazy. Okay, next is for Boo. Is my current best friend who I'm feeling for going to want a relationship with me even though they say no due to age difference? I'm an Aries. My best friend of over a year and a half sometimes gives off vibes as there may be a connection, but there is a big age gap between us. They say because of that, we would not make it as a couple. I always get mixed signs from him, not sure what to make of it.
Now, when a man tells you he doesn't want a relationship with you, you should listen to him. Like, for sure. My question that I'm kind of curious about is why are you all best friends? You know?
Why are they best friends?
Why? No, I'm trying to figure out how to word the question. Like, why do you want a relationship with this person? Is what I'm wondering.
Maybe because they're best friends.
No, I don't even know how to word the question I'm asking. I don't know how to word it. I need to know more about the situation. Let me look at the soul contract. Ten of Pentacles reversed, Five of Wands. Uh-oh. He doesn't trust you. I don't think it has anything to do with an age gap. I mean, that is in here. The Page of Wands is the youngest person in the entire tarot, but that's down at the very bottom. At the very, very bottom. So that's kind of a half-truth. He's using that to cover up something else that he doesn't trust about this. Got a lot of pentacles here. I don't know. Does he have something you could use him for? I think that's kind of what he's worried about. I don't know what that would be. But I think he doesn't really trust the situation. He kind of wants to be single. And yeah, I think the age gap does kind of bother him a little bit, but that's not the reason. It's something bigger and deeper than that. There's a lack of trust here. Let me see what the second spread says. Because not most of the time you don't ever hear of a man that doesn't want a young woman. Now, you are a woman, right? Is Boo a woman?
I believe so. Yeah.
Most men would prefer a younger woman. Unless you're underage. You're not underage, are you?
She said he thinks he is the, or he, wait a minute. What? I think, okay, she does the talk to text. I remember. So it says, thinks he's the only person who took time to be a friend after my spouse died. Or he is the only person who took time to be a friend to her after her spouse died.
Ace of Wands reverse, Five of Cups reverse, Fool reverse. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. There's something, I don't know 100% exactly what it is, but there's something he doesn't really trust about the situation. I don't really think that the age gap bothers him that bad. I don't think so. I don't think so. I've never met a man who would turn down a younger woman. Never, ever met a man.
Was he friends with your spouse? I wonder.
That could be it. Maybe.
Does it feel like it's kind of like bro code? Like
maybe
it would be wrong.
Maybe, possibly. But there's something in here. It's not the age gap. There's something, Seven of Swords, that he doesn't really trust. And I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if he's afraid you're going to use him for something, or if maybe he's afraid that it's just a codependency connection. And then, once you heal up from whatever it was that happened, you're going to flip a switch and turn on him. There's something he doesn't really trust about the situation. It's not the age gap. That's not what it is. right now, it's kind of looking like unless he's able to gain a little bit more trust in the situation somehow, he's kind of standing firm on his decision. I mean, I do think there's a sexual attraction there. That's why you get mixed signals, but it goes a little bit deeper than age gap. There's something about the situation he doesn't trust. And without knowing any other details, that's all I could say.
Okay, so remember this reading for Lynn, and you wanted to know how long they were separated?
Yeah.
Does it change anything if it was only for 3 months? They've been...
No, not really. I would just dig in and explain it a little bit deeper.
Oh, well, she's in the chat, and she wanted to say it was 3 months. So, I mean...
Okay, yeah, no,
it doesn't change the message.
It doesn't change the answer. It's just that, like, I don't even remember what all I said about that reading, but, they've been broken up for 3 months?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's...
Because she was asking if that person will return.
Yeah, and so it usually, I always give people a general rule of thumb. It's kind of hard to throw a blanket over this kind of stuff, but there's some general rules that pretty much apply for most people. I like to tell most people to give yourself no less than 1 year before healing even starts. And I know some people get frustrated when you say that, and I get it. I know it sucks. I don't like it either. But most of the time, when something takes a big emotional toll on you like that, 1 year minimum before healing even starts. Usually, on average, it's closer to 1.5 years. And depending on how long-term the relationship was and whatnot, it can take up to about 2 years. But usually, I've never seen healing start happening from something very emotionally traumatic in under 1 year. So that's all I was really going to say.
Okay, and then for this last one, I know it doesn't change anything, but I guess for Boo, I guess she's the older one.
Oh, she's the older one?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now there's something else about this that this person.
Yeah, it doesn't have to do with that.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
There's something else about the situation the person doesn't really trust.
And I guess that person didn't know her spouse either, so that was debunked.
Okay. Yeah. No, there's kind of something about the situation this person doesn't really trust. Maybe. I mean, of course, I don't know what the ages are. I don't know what they are, but maybe he thinks that once you reach a certain age, you're just gonna flip a switch on and cut him off or something like that, But there's something about the situation he doesn't really trust. Again, I'm not saying that the age gap thing isn't a factor at all, but it's a small factor. But right now, I think looks like he's pretty much kind of standing pretty firm on his decision. And unless something was to happen that would make him gain a little bit more trust in the situation. So that's about all I can say for right now.
Next, we are reading for Brat.
Brat.
Has my friend abandoned me? He is in an unhappy relationship. 2 months ago, we almost crossed the line and have had no contact since. I'm a Leo.
Well, you don't really almost cross the line. I mean,
what does that mean?
Cheated.
Oh, I see.
If you almost cheated, you cheated. You don't almost cheat. Like coming from his perspective, if he's in the relationship. If you're in a relationship with somebody, you don't almost cross the line. You're either cheating or you're not. If you're flirting with somebody, you're cheating. If you're hanging out with somebody and there's a sexual attraction there and you're feeding that energy, you're cheating. But I know what you mean. Let me see. What should I even look at? I guess I'll just check the energy of the situation. Ooh, 3 of Swords. You already told me that. Ace of Wands, Six of Wands. Okay. Well, I mean, abandoned you. I mean, I think for the time being, that's his intention. For the time being, with the Hermit here, he's in a mess. He's in an absolute mess and doesn't know what to do. Doesn't have a clue what to do. World card reversed. Yeah, he's stuck. He's stuck in a cycle right now that he doesn't really know how to break out of. So I think for the moment, his intention is to abandon this. But, you know, who knows what he's going to do next time things go bad in his relationship. That's hard to put words to. I've never read a situation like that, so I don't know how to put words to it. But I think right now in the current moment, that's his intention. I think so. King of Swords, yeah. For the current moment, I think that's his intentions, but usually in situations like that, it's not permanent. I'd give it about a 60 to 70% chance that you'll hear from him before the year is over. But be careful. Oh, be careful. Be careful stepping into the energy of that kind of situation, because that's like a sticky glue trap. And if you get stuck in that, it's going to end up, long story short, retroactively turning into probably just a big mess of drama that you don't want to be a part of. So be very careful with that situation. So yeah, I think for the time being, his intention is to abandon you. But I have a feeling you'll more than likely hear from him again before the year's over.
But if he likes her, why isn't he with her?
Exactly. That's what makes it so toxic. Yeah. If you're in such a toxic relationship that you're about to cross the line, why don't you just leave that fucking shit?
Well, I think that, yeah, like he obviously feels a connection with her, you know? Like,
no.
Men are so annoying sometimes with that shit. It's like,
right. So the simple fact that that's where he is mentally, if that's where he is mentally, he doesn't know how to handle his toxic relationship. He doesn't know how to just leave that, heal, and then pick something better. He doesn't even know how to handle that. He's not even in, put it to you like this. If that's where he is mentally, the toxicity of his relationship, he plays a part in it somehow. I can tell you that. 90% of the time when somebody's in a toxic relationship, they ain't no little innocent angel. Especially if, you know, they're cheating on their partner with you. I hear that all the time. You know, somebody's like, oh, they're in a toxic relationship and I'm their side partner. And okay, so they're cheating. They're in a toxic relationship and they're cheating. But it's okay for them to cheat because it's their partner that's the toxic one. That's a load of horseshit. So a good person doesn't go off and cheat. I don't care how toxic the person is. So, anyway.
All right, next is for Kitty73.
Kitty.
I'm a Cancer. My boyfriend and I ended our 2-year relationship lately, but I'm not sure if we made a right decision. Is there a chance that we can reconcile? He is Virgo.
Whose idea was it?
We don't know.
Are you in the chat? Just out of curiosity. Wouldn't change the answer.
Well, sometimes if people want to be anonymous and have aliases, they don't really want to do that in comments. So
I'm just curious as to whose idea was it, because if it was both of your ideas, because you said, I don't know if we made the right decision, so that kind of sounds like you all both had an amicable separation. Yeah. And if the separation was amicable, that drastically decreases the chances that you did something wrong. Ooh, devil card. Okay. Now, this is a completed soul contract. World card. So there is no unfinished business. And actually, I would probably go as far as to say that it's a good thing that you did end it when you did, because if you didn't end it when you did, the universe was about to kick the tower over on you in the next few months. So no, you completed that soul contract successfully, and it was time to part ways. Let me see what the next spread says. That was pretty blatant right there in that one spread. Told us pretty much everything we need to know. Page of Pentacles. Ooh, now you're being prepared for your actual person.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, you're being prepared for your actual person now. So you completed that contract successfully. Again, I would recommend that you focus on one thing and one thing only: healing and releasing this energy. Don't be in such a hurry to go out there and try to find your person. Allow that to happen when the time is right. 2-year-long relationship, it's going to take some time to release. Again, my recommendation is at least go into it willing to dedicate a year to just getting comfortable with your new path. Because a 2-year relationship is going to be weird. You're going to feel very uncomfortable, very out of place, by yourself after you've been with somebody for 2 years. So give yourself the time to start feeling comfortable with yourself, filling that void from within, without feeling out of place and whatnot. And you're being prepared for your actual divine life partner. So, all right. All right.
Okay, hold on a second.
I'm not in a rush.
Okay, so we are on Gia, and I know she's in the chat, so I'm waiting to get a little bit more info from her, but I can read what we have. It says, can you read the current energy between me and Dave, how he views me and what direction this might be heading? But we're going to actually just read, because I said we need one question. How does he feel about me? But I need to know who is this person to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So. You and your little sounds. Boom, boom, boom. You're silly. What is that? Gums?
My gum.
Gums.
My gum.
You have all kinds of beads on you today.
Huh?
You got all different kinds of beads on you today.
I don't even know what that is. That came from your crystal thing. It's pretty though.
Yeah. I always forget the name of that one. It's not amethyst though.
No. And this one isn't tiger's eye. I think it's jasper. And I forget what these are.
I don't know. I forget. I can't remember all the names. There's just way too many.
There's so many of them. God, I had no idea there was so many.
I know.
Crystals. Thousands of different crystals. Thousands. And
there's just so many. There's no way to memorize them all. And there's no way to really verify which one is what, because there's so many that look alike too. And there's no, how do you identify it other than just looking at pictures?
I don't know.
It's crazy. All right, Miss Gia, are you here in the chat? I know you were here earlier.
I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick.
Okay. I don't know if you're typing or not, but we need to know, who is Dave to you? Is this like someone you have a crush on? Is this somebody like that you used to date? Or is this an ex? Is this a current person that you're with right now? Or I don't know. We need to know so Rich knows what to look for. So anyways, If we don't hear from you, we're probably gonna have to skip. Yeah, who is Dave to you? Is he a friend? Is he a boyfriend? An ex-boyfriend?
Potential love interest.
Is that from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
No.
Yeah.
No. No, it's
You're gonna call a friend? Phone a friend.
It was one of those old school 90s. Wheel of Fortune or Price is Right, or I forget the name. I never watched that shit. They annoyed me as a kid.
Jeopardy. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, she said we go out all the time. So then he's a friend? He's a friend then, I guess?
That's kind of what it sounds like.
Okay, well, let's just see the energy and how does he feel about her. Someone she goes out with.
Urkelly.
Yeah, honestly, I would never guess Jeopardy. I don't know why that was not even in my mind. I thought it was literally Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. She says we're intimate too, but he's still healing with the toxic ex-wife. Oakley dokley.
7 of Cups. I think he wants to keep his options open. Yeah. Ooh, Devil card. Sex-based connection. Yeah. Yeah. So, Devil card, 7 of Cups. Sex-based connection, and he wants to keep his options open. Doesn't really look like he's trying to settle down with anyone right now. Just wants to play around and be free to play around and play the field. So, with the King of Cups reversed, he's emotionally closed off right now. It doesn't, I don't see him really trying to have a relationship. Let's see what the second spread says. Get this one.
She said it was the only relationship he had in his life. Oh, the ex-wife? Damn, that's crazy.
Strength reverse.
His only relationship, or is that like the only person he's ever like done anything with? Because that'd be crazy too. If he's only hooked up with her.
Right.
Then he's definitely gonna want to be like, all right, well, what else is out there?
Yeah. Well, it was a codependency attachment too. He's kind of a mess. He's very confused, very lost, very, very lost and confused. Extremely. So he's dealing with so many different emotions right now. He doesn't even know how to deal with them. Insecurity, low self-confidence, little to no self-esteem. So I think right now, he's trying to wall off his heart and keep his options open, play around, play the field, fuck with anybody who will give him a chance right now. Not really trying to settle down. So at least for now, it kind of looks like he doesn't really have intentions of taking it further than what it is, So I would just say, I don't know how long you all have been doing this, but if it's starting to bother you, I would set some sort of time frame. I would express my concerns, at least let it be known that it's bothering you. You're not just trying to, play around and have a sex-based connections with no strings attached, unless you're cool with that. But right now in the current moment, it doesn't really look like he has intentions of changing anything anytime soon. He's very lost and very confused, doesn't know where the hell he's going in life.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it happens.
Thank you, Gia. She says, I see him the same anyways. Yes, he's still healing. Thanks, Virginia. That's crazy, though. Like, yeah, I don't really know how old he is, so I guess I can't really just sit here and say. I don't know. When I think of someone who was married, I automatically just assume they're like way older. Not way older, but I don't know. That's just my mind.
Yeah, you never know. But I mean, especially if that was the only relationship he ever had, yeah, it's going to be really, 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 really hard to try to settle down again after that. You know, I couldn't do it.
Uh-oh. Wait. I lost the chat. What happened? Are we still here? Can you guys still see us? Are we buffering? No, we're good. I don't know why my little pop-out chat went all dark. Okay, next we are gonna read Tanya. My ex, who is a Leo, keeps turning up in places I go. What are his intentions, please?
Oh, shit.
And Tanya is an Aquarius.
I don't like that energy.
That he's showing up?
Yeah.
You don't think the universe is like orchestrating them to come together?
It's possible. It's possible. But
I would definitely be questioning that too. I'd be like,
Fool card. Judgment, Ace of Cups, Emperor reversed. Yeah, I think he's trying to do things to get your attention, trying to see where you stand with him or where he stands with you, you know, but is too intimidated to just come straight forward and say anything. So, yeah, I don't really think I wouldn't call this a divinely orchestrated thing. Maybe from time to time, maybe it has been a couple of times you all accidentally cross paths, but there have been times where he does it on purpose, if he can. I don't know how he would go about doing that. I don't know, maybe if he hears through the grapevine that you're going to be somewhere or, you know, what. But I do think that there have been times where he's orchestrated it on purpose to see if he can get any kind of response or reaction out of you, you know, wondering how you feel about it. Let me get the advice on this.
so he likes her?
I don't know if I would call it that. Kinda. You could say that. But I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like I like you, I want to be with you. Because, you know, hopefully, ideally, he could just come forward and say that. But I do think that it just drives him nuts, wondering how you feel about it. Let's see what the second thread says. Hangman reverse. Yeah, King of Cups reversed, yeah. So, like I said, I can't necessarily 100% say that, you know, every single time is divinely guided or every single time he orchestrates it. I think it's been a little bit of both. But yeah, his intentions are to see how you feel about it. You know, but the kicker to that is that if he's too insecure and afraid to communicate with you directly, is that somebody you need in your life? If he can't communicate to you directly about that, he's not going to be able to communicate with you directly about anything, even if the two of you were to get back together. I kind of have a little bit of a feeling, too, with that King of Cups reversed and the Six of Wands here, that he would love for you to come chasing after him just so it would make him feel better about himself. Not for the two of you to be together. up, but just because it would make him feel better about himself, you know?
She said he left me when I found out I was pregnant with his kid.
Oh, shit.
It's always at my local coffee shop he knows I go to. He turns up at. That's so freaking sick and twisted. Like, ew, I would not give him any time of day if I was you. Yeah. And you know that.
That's not...
he wants to play games like that and then show up. Like, ugh.
It's not somebody you need in your life. I would be careful. I mean...
So then what are his intentions then?
He's playing games. Like I said, he's
not serious. He
wanting to see
wanting
to see how she feels. And I think he would love for her to come chasing after him because he wants to have the upper hand in the situation. If he comes chasing after you, that gives you the power, right? But if you come chasing after him, that gives him the power. So he's trying to manipulate and play with the situation so that he can wrestle the perception of power into him having the upper hand. He's playing games.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Literally crazy.
Some fucked up people out there.
Wow.
What good does he think is going to... Like, I've never been able to understand a man that when you find out you're about to have a kid, you want to run.
And then want to be chased? Like...
Yeah. Well, I think that's the Leo in him because he wants to feel, you know, like, you want me. Of course you want me.
That is weird. That's so weird. Ugh, I feel so bad for you. I cannot believe you have to go through that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I am so sorry for you.
But I remember, like...
I wouldn't even want to look at him.
I just never understood that mindset. Anyway, I remember when my ex-wife got pregnant with my oldest daughter. She was going to put it up for adoption. And I fought her every step of the way. I was like, no, I don't want no fucking kid either. But here, I wasn't spiritual back then. So I wasn't thinking this on a conscious level. But on an unconscious level, I was like, well, the universe put us in this position. So we got to fucking do it, you know? I didn't want it. Hell no, I didn't want to be a parent. But I'm like, I'm not going to run from that. That's like the most bitch move a man can make is run from his kid, you know? But whatever.
He said he did try and come back after I had our son. Then when I told him he can have contact with his son, but I won't get back with him, he left again. Oh my God. He's like a child himself, literally.
That's that little Leo temper. No offense to any Leos out there, but
when it's in a low vibration, like a low vibration,
Leo man acts like a fucking toddler.
They act like little babies.
Act like little toddlers.
I was married to a Leo. Let me tell you, it lasted 3 months. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. Got that shit annulled real quick. But yeah, that's crazy. All right, next we have Lindsay. What does the future look like for me and Kyle? Kyle's the father of her child. He would like to get back together, but I just think the time has passed and I'm too scared. Lindsay is a Gemini.
No, 9 times out of 10, when you're feeling that way, there's a reason why you're feeling that way. But we'll double check just to make sure. This is becoming my favorite deck duo right here, dude. I can't help it. Oh, my deck duos. This is becoming
we love the green and blue. I wonder why they don't make other colors like red.
I mean, they may. I
think the red one would be cool.
I'm not sure that the same people make these. They might. They just seem so similar. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I just type in when I go to buy tarot cards, I just type in tarot cards on Amazon and scroll through and see what they have. And I saw these and I was like, oh, cool. So I'll look into the creator of this one at least and see if they have a different one. All right, let's see. Let me look at the soul contract between you and this person. 2 more shuffles. King of Pentacles reverse, 9 of Cups reverse. Okay. Well, I mean, I think what you're picking up on an energetic level is accurate. It's not telling me about the soul contract. It didn't even tell me. But it is telling me that he is, first of all, his priorities are very unorganized and fucked up. And he's a codependent. Lonely, emotional codependent. So I think on an energetic level and the devil card, yeah. What you're picking up on an energetic level is accurate. So more than likely, the primary reason why the two of you came together was to create the avatar that the being who chose to play the role of your child. So, when whoever that being was who agreed to play the role of your child picked a very specific avatar, you and this person had to come together at the right fucking millisecond in order to create that avatar. And that was the primary reason why the two of you came together. Let me see what the second spread has to say. Starburst. Emperor again. Okay. So again, not telling me a whole lot about soul contracts here. It's honestly not telling me. But what I will say, just from an energetic perspective, number one, he's a mess on an energetic level. Very lost, very confused. You see that a lot. That's nothing new. But that on top of your distrust in the entire situation, you don't even trust the situation. So you're stepping into it with your guard up and your nerves racked. Those two energies mixed together, you may as well be lighting a cigarette next to a bucket of gasoline. I mean, you got about a 98% chance that that's going to explode into something that's not too good. If I was you, I would pay attention to how it feels. Don't pay attention to anything else other than how it feels. While you're feeling that feeling of mistrust, while you're feeling the feeling of uncertainty and doubt, don't do it. Because if you jump into a relationship that you do not trust, that nothing guarantees anything, but it almost guarantees that it's destined for failure. So
always trust your gut and your spidey senses. You know this.
Spidey senses.
Balala senses. Balalas. Oh my God. There has been a couple spiders in the house.
That is so crazy.
They're not big though, so
But that's just nuts that we've been dealing with that here because
we're next to a hill.
In the old Vegas house, we had the occasional June bug from time to time.
I've not seen one June bug.
I know. Now, since we live on the very edge of the city, so behind our house is just nothing. It's just a mountain range. We're at the very foot of a mountain, and beyond our house is just the desert.
It's like if you guys see on TikTok where they say you live at the edge of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That's like where we live. We literally live like there. So we're going to have different critters. We've seen already 2 scorpions or 3?
2.
On the sticky pads.
2.
2? Are you sure?
Oh, no, it hasn't been 3. Because you popped one of them on me. The second one, you popped the second one on me.
I think it was its babies.
Ugh, that was so disgusting. But we've seen 3 scorpions try to get into our house.
Those are the only ones. Those are only the ones that were on the sticky pad, though. So who knows how many made it past the sticky pad or came in from a different way or anything like that.
Yeah.
The pregnant one squished and it went all over him. It was so funny.
That was so fucking gross. Of all the things that I thought would never happen to me in my life, getting squirted by scorpion guts was definitely on the list of things that I never thought I would have to worry about. But what I don't want to see is a fucking rattlesnake on my front porch. That's what I'm scared of. Really,
so Lindsay was saying, sorry, I'm seeing your comments now. It says, we have 2 kids. That's interesting. I have a 6-page letter written to him about wanting distance, but my fear of him dropping all of us makes me refrain from giving it to him. Last year, he got sober after he broke his back and almost got paralyzed. Fear is a bitch.
Yeah. That's a messy situation.
But if he leaves, then it's like, that tells you more of his true colors anyways, you know?
Yeah, it's just at the end of the day,
you guys.
At the end of the day, I mean, the hard part about it is that there's kids in the mix.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so difficult. Because now we're in a day and age where broken homes are basically normal, you know, and, you know, it's difficult for a kid. It's difficult for 2 adults to behave amicably in a way that will still give the child the relationship between their parents that they need while separated. You know, that's challenging. But when it all comes down to it, in retrospect, a kid is better being raised by a single parent than 2 parents in a toxic relationship. Neither one of them are a very good scenario, but that's the single parent thing is the lesser of the 2 evils. You know, so yeah, that's why I say just pay attention to how the energy feels. Maybe the energy will get better. Maybe something will happen, or he'll say something or do something, or you'll just feel a general vibrational shift that'll start making you feel more confident in the situation. And then in that case, I would say, okay. But while there's still so much doubt and fear, you don't want to do that.
Okay, next we have Tracy. Question is, will my situationship that I'm in currently grow into something more? If not, will I meet my forever person soon? And Tracy is a Gemini.
That's 2 questions. And I can tell you that attracting your divine life partner isn't something that's timed out. And number 1. Number 2, the situationship, I don't need a tarot card to tell you that that's not your divine life partner. If it was, you wouldn't even be considering somebody else being your forever person. I got to see what the soul contract is here. But also, the primary law is the law of vibration. Secondary law is the law of attraction. So you are vibrating at a frequency that attracted a situationship. Okay. Now, there's no judgment when we talk about frequency and vibration. This is the part people slip up with. I'm not saying good vibration, bad vibration. It does not make you a good person or a bad person, or a smart person or a dumb person. It's just simply energy, frequency, and vibration. Now, if you are vibrating at a frequency that attracted a situationship, that is not the frequency that's going to attract your divine life partner. So in order to attract your divine life partner, you would have to first make the decision to walk away from that person. Second of all, do the work to clear and release that energy, and work to shift into the vibrational state of abundance that will attract your divine life partner. And I got a lot more I would need to say, but I'm just going to go ahead and look at the soul contract here. Empress reverse. Now, I don't think this person is supposed to play a solid, stable role in your life. I don't think so. I have personally never witnessed 2 divine life partners start their relationship off as a situationship. I guess it's possible. Anything could happen, but Yeah, I don't think this person is meant to play a major long-term role in your life. That doesn't mean that they can't. Okay. What I would recommend doing if I was you is expressing your concerns about, wanting to take this further and see how the person responds to it. Now, the good news is I don't think you have any miscellaneous soul contracts that are due to come in. So if you was to walk this path perfectly, meaning release this person and literally release their energy, make the vibrational change to ascend up to the frequency of love and abundance, then your actual person would be the next person that comes in. And that's not timed out. I can't say that's going to happen in December. It doesn't quite work that way. It depends on how long it takes you to accomplish that vibrational state. Let's see what the second spread says. How you doing over there?
Good. Are you doing good?
Yep. Seven of Swords. Strength card, Two of Swords, Six of Swords. Yeah, okay. So, Nine of Swords. All right. Okay, so again, the person that you're dealing with right now, it's not a long-term soul contract. Now, is that a guaranteed deal breaker? There's no such thing as a guaranteed deal breaker. But what I would do is I would have a conversation with this person. Okay, we need to have a conversation. There needs to be clarity. This energy of just a giant cosmic question mark floating in the ether of eternity with, we're just, I don't know. We'll see. No, we can't. No. That's not how you lay a foundation. We need to know, where are we going with this? What are we doing here? Where's this going? And clarity needs to be gained on that. And hey, best case scenario, maybe the two of you could say, you know what? Cool. Let's lay a foundation and work towards building a life partnership. It's possible, but that's not in the soul contract. But that's what I would do first. So, yeah, it's going to take a little bit of action if you want the situationship to get a little bit better. Because if you just kind of let it linger the way it is, I don't think this person has any qualms with things going the way that they are. So, it's going to take a little bit of effort. So, all right.
Okay, next is for Marie. I'm a Libra. I want to know how Jesus really feels about me. We hooked up about 10 times. You're not counting or anything, right?
10 times? And you don't know how he feels about you after 10 times? That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Let's see. Four of Swords reversed. Ten of Pentacles, Fool card. I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like the connection kind of scares him a little bit. I'm thinking the connection kind of scares him a little bit. How do I even word this? This is all over the place. So first of all, I don't know how successful he is at just picking people up, but I think he's kind of at a place in his life where that's the lifestyle he wants to live. So if he could, he would just be hooking up with anybody he can. You know, that's your average man's dream, is to just be able to live that kind of lifestyle. However, I think this connection kind of scares him, kind of freaks him out a little bit, because it's abnormally strong, you know, It's an abnormally strong energetic connection, but I don't think he's interpreting it as an emotional connection. The emotions that he's deriving from this connection are transmuting into fear by the time they reach the surface, if that makes sense. So it kind of scares him a little bit. He's a little bit intimidated by this connection. So he wants to really wants to just live a lifestyle where he just hooks up with people with no emotional strings attached. I'm not 100% sure where men get the idea that, well, yeah, I know where. I mean, it's been put in movies and now in social media with influencers and shit, you know, but most men who end up trying to play that game usually end up learning the hard way. That's not what you fucking want. It's not what you think it is. At all. At all. You can't just fuck somebody with no energetic strings attached. No matter how hard you try, you're going to be quantum entangled with that person. And it's going to affect you energetically. So I think he's bitten the bait and fallen for the illusion that, you know, that's the goal. Just want to fuck around with people and no strings attached, but 9 of Swords again. So it kind of scares him a little bit. So he's really confused. He doesn't really know. He doesn't want a relationship, but the intensity of the connection is starting to scare him. That's the only thing. Since 9 of Swords came up twice in a row, the only thing I can say is that he feels scared and intimidated. So.
Okay, hold on.
I'm not in a rush. You can take a little break if you want.
Okay. Well, I don't want to make people wait, you know. That's
why the readings are time stamped. Look at Sperry.
Oh, Sperry. That's where he was when I woke up this morning too.
Let's see if I can show him.
Oh, it's Betty. Hi.
Oh, he just popped his head up.
Oh, he's a sleepy boy. Let me see.
I was going to try to get him looking like he was laying down there asleep.
I don't think you can see. It doesn't focus on it.
Anywho.
Sleepy boy Spare.
He's as needy as a damn dog.
Oh my gosh, for real. Also, I just want to say that we are still accepting orders for the live. We're going to be on here for maybe about another 20 minutes or so. So there's not much of a wait. We have a couple right now. And then, get on our list. It's a short list. You won't have to wait. But yeah, Sperry is so needy. Oh my God. I thought I had a cat, not a dog. Yeah. He's like an annoying Pomeranian. He has to be like on your lap. If you sit down, he's going to like immediately go to your lap and want you to like give him booty slaps.
Yeah.
And pets.
Starts headbutting
you. Like you'll be petting him and he's already going to be headbutting you. And it's like, I'm already petting you. Yeah. Or if you're playing like the Xbox, he like nudges the remote out of your hand. Or if you're on your phone, he nudges your phone. And then I call him Tickle Tail because when I'm in the kitchen, he just like comes up behind me and does this with his tail like on the back of my leg. And sometimes if I'm like PMSing, I'm just like, I'm about to freaking punt you, cat. Like you're got to go flying. Like that shit is irritating me. Just like that little tickle like on the back of your leg.
He's got he has real long tail hairs. So he doesn't touch you with his tail. He knows how to just get you with the end of them hairs. And it's
so really annoying. It's so annoying, but he's a sweetie, so you can't like get mad at him. But I swear, it's the timing. He just knows how to get you a little bit irritated sometimes.
And it's weird because he was the one, for those of you who've been following us for years, since 2019, he was the scaredy cat. He was the one that climbed up in the cabinets that one day, the day we got him. And then he was the one, when we first moved into our first Vegas house, that hid in the cabinet for the first 6 months that we lived there.
Not 6 months. It was like for 2 months.
No, he stayed hidden for about 6 months. Yeah, he did.
No, you have to look at the video.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we made the video after 6 months. I'm saying that he didn't start coming out of that cabinet for about 6 months.
I know. It was like right after we made that video saying we were going to get rid of him. That's when he started coming out. It's like he knew. He was like, oh shit, I better come out this cabinet. I heard that video. Because I remember that. And I was like, oh, we'll just keep him. He's coming around more now. I thought it was too much for him. I was so scared and worried. Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, next is for Candace. I have a connection with someone who's been in my life for 20 years. We dated, but never work still. Support each other. What's our connection spiritually?
I love
She's
that
a Gemini.
question. I love that question. What's the soul contract?
Boom. Hold on a second. Okay, go ahead. Boom.
Okay, well, this individual is a very, very near and dear member of your soul family. I got to think of a different way to explain this. It's hard to explain. This is the best way that I can think to explain it. One of the closest members of your soul family. So let me see. Okay, so you know that your average long-term human is very close soul family with everyone in your life. Okay. But most groups of long-term humans have a close, tight-knit group of soul family, like favorites, and they're the ones that play the really close, intimate roles. Like in this lifetime, let's be husband and wife. In the next lifetime, we'll be parent and child. And the lifetime after that, we'll switch roles. You be the parent and I'll be the child. And then in the next lifetime, we'll be brother and sister, really close, tight, intimate roles. Well, once after 100 lifetimes, you all go through and all of the close soul family has all switched, flip-flopped around all the different roles you can possibly play. They say, well, I want to play this role with somebody else. So let's get this other person and you can be my father in this lifetime. And maybe me and you can just be friends or something like that, And so they don't really play as close of a role in your life. But when you meet them, you feel that really strong feeling of soul recognition, So basically your soul is remembering the tight bond that you all have formed over many, many lifetimes. But there isn't a really solid, close soul contract in this lifetime. Does that make sense? So I see that. I wouldn't say all the time, but I do see it fairly frequently. And worst case scenario, what can happen is that the two of you can come together based on that feeling of soul recognition, and there's no contract, or at least not a long-term contract, and then create karma that was never there to begin with. I don't see that the two of you have done that, so I wouldn't worry about that. But yeah, let me see what the second spread says here.
She said, yes, soul family makes sense. It feels like chosen family, helping him through his first year of sobriety now.
Jesus Christ, man.
Cheese and rice.
Cheese and rice. Cheese, it's sliced. Okay.
Cheesed it sliced.
Cheese it sliced.
Cheese it sliced. Cheese.
So yeah, that's really all I can say on that right there. Now, again, is it possible to write a new contract that's not a pre-birth contract? Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, there is no such thing as past, present, and future. I'm not even trying to go down that rabbit hole right now, but you can write a new contract in the moment. It's possible. But I would say be careful with that and just make sure that you're being very, very mindful of the energy and of your energy. But yeah, there wasn't a long-term pre-birth contract here. Okay.
Ugly dougly. Cheese and rice. Next is for share.
Mute it real quick.
Okay, hold on. When will I finally find somebody who appreciates me and love me for who I am and not for what I offer? And share is a Cancer.
Well, again, these things aren't really timed out. It's not, I mean, it can be kind of roughly, but what do I look at first there? I guess let me see. I don't know, because I have two things I want to look at. I want to look at the soul contracts you've had in the past and what the reasoning for those were. And I need to look at what's due to come in next. And I don't know which to look at first. Let me just look at the past first. Knight of Swords reversed. Okay, karmic wheel. So you've been working on lots of karmic contracts. Okay, cool. Been working on lots of karmic contracts and lots of people who have come into your life specifically to alter the trajectory of your path. You're being very, very drastically influenced by everyone you come in contact with. I know it may not seem like it, but every person that you've encountered has played a major role in divinely guiding your path. So you're actually, believe it or not, right exactly where you're supposed to be. Let's see what's due to come in next. Ooh, 10 of Cups. Sweet. Good deal. All right. So remember, the primary law is the law of vibration. The secondary law is the law of attraction. You only attract in according to the frequency in which you vibrate. So you don't find that person. You attract them when you match the vibration. And you'll more than likely cross paths with that person when you stop looking for it. It's not just a matter of whether or not you're looking for it. It's when you match the vibration of abundance from within, the last thing on your mind is relationships. And that's when you're a vibrational match to abundance on the outside. The best analogy I've been able to come up with is when there's an empty void in your stomach, all you can think about is food. But when your stomach is full, food is the last thing on your mind. Similarly, same thing with your heart. The only difference between filling the void in your stomach and filling the void in your heart is that your stomach has to be filled from the outside in, your heart has to be filled from the inside out. But that's the best analogy that I can come up with. So that is what's due to come in next. So, it depends on how long it takes you to heal. and how long it takes you to find the vibration of abundance and actually realize that you're already whole, fulfilled, and complete in here. And then once you begin walking in that energy, you're going to bump into your actual person when you least expect it.
Okay, so next we have Marios, and he bought 2 questions. So first one is, you probably already know what Marios is asking, because good old Marios likes to ask this question. My first question is about my life partner. Has anything changed energetically?
No.
Marios.
If it had, you wouldn't be asking about it. You're still asking about it. So you're still on the same frequency. So
Marios, your person you need to get your person to come in for you.
I don't know any other way to explain how.
Well, then don't explain. Just see if
No, I'm seriously trying to figure out how to explain what matching the frequency of abundance means. Again, my best analogy, I just said it to the last person, is, when things change energetically, the primary law is the law of vibration. It has to change energetically on the inside first before it can change energetically on the outside. Everything in your life is an extension of your vibration. Everything. So the energy doesn't change out here first. It changes in here first. Once it changes in here, once you vibrate different, that's when things start happening different out here. So, yeah.
Or like a question you could start asking yourself is, why don't I want to be alone?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Why? Like, really sit with that and understand why.
Yeah.
And then once you can figure out why, then you can start healing from that why.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't heal it unless you understand why.
Yeah. Queen of Pentacles reversed. 6 of Cups, Queen of Swords, Ace of Wands reversed. So, no. King of Cups reversed, Hangman. So, yeah. Yep. The one thing I've been telling people for years is that one of the very first clues that you're about to meet your person is when you don't give a fuck if you meet your life partner or not. I remember 6 months before you showed up, I was starting to think to myself, I don't give a fuck if I'm in a relationship or not. And then I was like, oh shit. I'm about to meet my fucking person. So I sat on the fence, so scared. Like, I know the minute I completely let go, I'm going to meet this person. And then it just got to the point where I just didn't even have the strength to hold on anymore. I was just like, it's kind of like when you're holding on to something for so long, you just let go because you're tired of holding on to it. And I did. And boom, wasn't even 2 weeks. I don't even know if it was a full week later that we connected.
Dang, I didn't know it was that soon.
Yeah. So.
You're gonna probably have to get tired of waiting. Then you're just not gonna care.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This is even what's depicted in the Suit of Cups in the tarot. Most people meet their partner when they give up on it. That's usually what leads up to it. It doesn't have to be, but that's just because of the brainwashing and the societal shit that we've been born into and brought up in, that most people are searching for a relationship, waiting on their life partner because they have an inside void that they want to fill from the outside. Yeah. And then for whatever reason, most people just are sick of getting their heart broke, but it depends. It's just different for the individual.
Do we remember what sign he is?
No.
I was going to say, maybe if you're a fixed sign, it might be a little bit harder.
But, yeah, it could be a little harder if you're a fixed sign, but either way, most people completely give up on it, and that's when they meet the person. But that's not everybody, because we've all met that person who gives up on love, and they just isolate themselves away from everybody, angry, bitter, and pissed off for the rest of their life. And of course, they don't meet their person because they're not on a vibration of happiness, love, and abundance. They're on a vibration of anger, bitterness, and misery. It's the people who actually tell themselves, well, it's on me. This void, nobody's coming. I don't want nobody. So it's on me. I'm going to dedicate my life to making me happy. Fuck everybody else. I'm doing this for me, and then it even usually is inconvenient for some people because they've just started planning their life not to fit anybody else in it, so yeah, it's a whole big thing, but yeah, no, the energy is still very much the same. What's the other question?
Okay, then his next question is anything new coming in for my career? I am looking for a new job.
Queen of Wands.
And I know it's hard to like saying a lot of that stuff. It's like it's easy when you hear it, but like applying it is so much harder. It really is. And like for me, I think it was like, sorry, not trying to trail away from this, but for me it was like a little bit different when I gave up on love. I mean, I had a bunch of options. It's just all those options were shit and they sucked. And then I would just be upset every single time. And then it took me being like, I'm done with this. Like, I'm done being hurt or getting my hopes up. And then, you know what I mean? And then just, I was tired of that. But I don't know from the other side of that, like maybe, I don't think you had that problem where, or like if somebody can't get somebody, I'm not saying you can't get anyone, but I'm just saying a different point of view on that. Somebody who wants a relationship, but
doesn't have the option.
There's maybe no options. Like, I don't really know how to give up on something like that. Like, that seems like it would be a lot harder to give up something.
Yeah.
Because you don't really have the hurt behind it. Sometimes when you have that hurt, it's a lot easier to kind of say, no, I don't want to be hurt no more. Yeah. Or something like that.
Yeah.
So that can make it a little bit more challenging. Again, I don't know if you have options or not, but if you are in that boat, I totally get it.
And that's what happened to me. I'll never forget. I thought, yeah, I'm going to play around now and play eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And that game lasted not very long before I was like, fuck this shit. Everybody leave me alone. Everybody leave me alone. And you even wondered when we met why I didn't have anybody in my contacts on my phone.
He didn't. He had like five people in his phone, in his contacts on his phone. And I was like, should I be worried? Is this a red flag? What color flag is this? I don't know. Is this a green flag? All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just ready to spend my life alone and be by myself. Fuck it. But anywho, though, so with the whole job thing, yeah, I do think that you will be making a career shift in the next 6 to 8 months. Your cycle's not quite complete just yet. You are being prepared for the next stage, the next cycle. But I mean, the good news is you do have financial abundance waiting for you on the horizon with the 10 of Cups there. So I know it seems like they're kicking the fucking can down the road with the changes happening in the world, but at least we can see it now. For the past 2 years, it's just been hearsay. At least you can see it now. You don't have to look very far before you can see big changes. More changes have happened in the last 5 months than they have in the last 5 years. And it's just going to take just a little bit longer for things to trickle down to hit us, So, because I remember the economy was good. And then once bad economic decisions happened, it took about 2 years for that to hit us. Mm-hmm. So hopefully it doesn't take 2 years for things to shift for the better.
But I did see the 10 of Pentacles down there. Right?
That's
so maybe move your focus from love and focus on like building your empire and making money. And
yeah,
that's what I would do.
Focus on becoming someone that your life partner is going to want.
Well, that's kind of messed up because then what if they're just using him for money? You don't want that.
When you're in that energy, you'll be able to sniff that out.
Yeah, that's true.
When you're in a vibration of abundance, most people, before they meet their person, turn down lots of love offers. Because that's another thing that happens when you reach that vibration. That's attractive. People notice that. And when you're abundant, you ain't just going to let any random person waltz into your life. You'll be able to sniff out some bullshit immediately. But that's what you want to do. Focus on making yourself a valuable individual. And don't worry about when they're coming in. They'll come in. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Yep. There's the Ace of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles in this spread, 10 of Pentacles in the last spread. Yeah, there's going to be a career shift in the next 6 to 8 months, a year at the max. I don't think it'll take that long. 10 of Pentacles again. Yeah, you're going to be making a major financial shift in the next year. Major. I would focus on that.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
I think that universe isn't trying to place any love interests in your life right now because it wants you to focus on like career and building your like money empire. Because if you are going to get in a relationship or if a girl comes in right now, it's going to distract you from that path. And that's what you need to be focusing on right now.
Yeah. That's
my download that I just got for you. And I don't get downloads for everybody.
Yeah. You might be, well, that happens to a lot of men too. Very frequently, a man will have to build himself up before that person can come in because it can be distracting.
Yeah, it is. So. All right. Well, thank you. And next we are doing Paul.
Hollywog.
It says, does she want to be with me long term? A coworker who I've been dating for 5 months, and Paul is a Libra.
Queen of Cups. Well, yeah, I think so. I think she's catching feelings for you.
Paul the Ball.
Paul the Ball. Is that what you said?
You know what I'm talking about?
No. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So we do have the Queen of Cups in the upright here. I think so, yeah. She got her guard up, though, and that could pose some issues. I mean, just the simple fact that y'all have been together for 5 months and you don't really know what her intentions are, that's a little alarming. A little bit alarming for her to still have her guard up after all that time, but still have feelings at the same time. That can...
I don't think they said that they don't know what she feels. It said, will they be long term?
I thought it said, does she want to be with me long term?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you don't even know what she wants, and y'all been together for 5 years, or 5 months rather.
They've been dating for 5 months.
Right.
Yeah.
So you should have a very clear idea of what she wants in less than 5 months. But she does. But the fact that she is so heavily guarded that you are unable to pick up on that could be a problem. Because I'm feeling like tension may be slowly starting to build right now. And if that tension continues building and you remain in this energy of being confused and unsure, then that could lead to a not so pretty situation. Yeah, I think she does. Death card. Yeah, 2 of Wands. I think she does. 9 of Cups reversed. She's very uncertain on an unconscious level. Her thoughts are getting the best of her. She's overthinking shit, you know. At the deepest level, yes, she is developing really strong feelings, but her mind is coming close to sabotaging us. Coming close. You know, so... yeah, I would be working to gain clarity on how she feels about you. That's what I would be working on. And you need to hear it from her, not from me. So she does, though.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the last one, I guess, on our list here. And then we'll come back for part 2 in a couple hours. So... this is for Marco. It says, unemployed for over 2 years. No luck after trying different ways. Not sure what the blockage is. When will my employment happen? Recently found something more interesting, but don't have enough knowledge about that domain yet. Want to give it a try. And then Marco's in Aries.
Ooh, Tower card. Are you by chance? You aren't by chance picky about the kind of jobs you're looking for, are you? Because right now you're being prepared for something. You're being prepared to answer a calling that you probably wouldn't expect at some point in the next 5 years. It's telling me that there are options and opportunities available to you, but that's why I'm wondering if you're being picky. I don't know if you are just not wanting these options or if you just seriously aren't seeing them, like if you don't even realize it. But yeah, there are opportunities available to you, Four of Cups. I don't know why you're not seeing them, though. Either you're being picky or you're just not aware of them. Let's see what the second spread says. You are being prepared for something very unexpected, though. And by the time 2030 gets here, that will make sense. I'm not saying it's going to take that long, but see what the second spread says.
So are there any blockages?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe potentially being picky or just not seeing it.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I read cards for me, I always get this card myself. It's kind of like me sometimes when I'm upset.
Most readers call that the card of a missed opportunity. I try not to use that phrase, but yeah, I mean, technically, if you want to look at this card, I don't know how clearly you can see that, but there's a dude sitting next to a tree. There's a dude sitting next to a tree, and a cloud is offering him a cup, and he's not seeing it. He's not seeing it technically because he doesn't even believe that's possible. So he's not even thinking to look up in the sky because why would I do that? That's not even in his mind as a possibility. So, I mean, he can have many, many, many different meanings, though. It could mean that, you know, there's an, like, for example, let's say the gas station next to your house is hiring, and you're like, I don't want to do that. You know, it could be that kind of energy, or like I said, it could be things that you're just not tuned into. So while you're fixated and focused on the things that you're looking at right now, that's not quite the path. Not quite. There's some opportunities available to you. Like I said, I would think about looking in some unexpected places, you know, some either things that you wouldn't have thought about, or maybe even take into consideration doing something that you don't want to do, you know, just for a temporary period of time. It'll just be a temporary stepping stone, you know, like it doesn't matter if you got to be a damn cashier at Circle K or something, you know, just for a little temporary period of time. But other than that, though, you are being prepared for something very, very different in the next 5 years. So, yeah, that's about all I can get out of that.
All right. Well, we will be back at 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Pacific time for part 2. So, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll see you in a few hours.
See you guys later.